What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Thank you so much for stopping by to talk Pat McGrath with me today because we're going to talk about the new Mega Eyeshadow palette, her very first 18 pan palette. There's a lot to know about this palette. You may already have those details, but we're going to go through them anyways in case you don't know, or maybe you're wanting a little bit more information, swatches, all of that stuff, my thoughts, because there is something very important to note about this palette, and that is, straight off the bat, I'm going to tell you that if you own both of these, you have 2/3 of the shades in this palette. So that is the number one thing to consider. But we're going to go through all of that because you might be wondering if the performance in this palette equals the quality and performance of the shades in here. Sometimes brands will kind of go a little chintzier when duplicating shadows, when trying to re-promote. And so we're going to talk about all that today. So if you are interested and seeing if this 18 pan eyeshadow palette is right for you, especially because it is officially at Sephora at this point, then just keep on watching. All right, so let's just go ahead and get started with the particulars, with the little details. It is a $78 eyeshadow palette. I did get mine at a 10% discount because when you purchase from the Pat McGrath website for the, I guess, early access, when you sign up to get that early release, you get a 10% discount code. And that's typically what I do if I don't know when it's coming to Sephora. If I do know a date when something is coming to Sephora by the brand, I typically wait it out. And honestly, I may have waited it out if I would have known it was going to be this quick of a turnaround, but I just wasn't sure, and I wasn't sure, given it was her first 18 pan palette, I wasn't sure if it was going to sell out quickly, which it didn't. It's still in stock. This is what the box looks like right here. It is, I feel like I expected it to be a little bit larger, but still, it is her largest her largest palette to date. So this is what it looks like as far as the back. It's very, very pretty. It's like a envelope. So this is literally where you open it up and pull the palette out, and then just ingredients on the back. So let's go into the palette itself. This is what it looks like right here, exactly the same as the box. The back has the shade names on it. I will tell you that both for the box as well as the palette itself, this right here is a sticker. It is slapped on the palette just the same as the shade names on the back. And so I'll tell you, if you are super particular, then you can already tell that my sticker is crooked. So I mean, to me, it wasn't, I don't know, I guess because of the price point of this palette, they had to cut some corners here and there. That's okay by me, honestly. That's really not going to bug me, but just know if that's something that would bug you, there's a chance your sticker is just not aligned properly. As far as the ingredient or the shade names on the back, that one looks really nice for the most part. It's probably a little crooked, actually, now that I looked at it. But anyways, as far as what we usually get right here on her palettes, that is part of the actual cardboard itself. Like, it's not a sticker or anything. And I'm glad that they put that on there. It kind of makes them all match in that sense. So open this bad boy up, and it does, it's like, okay, I feel like I'm stuttering because I don't know what to say. So they cut corners, yes, because they brought down the price point. So it's not going to be that hefty, luxurious packaging. I'm okay with that. I would rather pay less and not have that packaging. But you could tell they kept certain details that made it feel and look like a luxe brand product, which I'm very happy with. So one being these little cloth, I'm sure there's a like official term for them. I don't know what that is, but that is there, and it holds the back or the mirror up. It does have a full size mirror on the inside, and then your 18 pan shades or your 18 shades are right here. So as far as shelf life, it does have a 12-month shelf life, and it is made in the USA. I was looking earlier for sizing because obviously these pans of products are smaller than what you would typically find in a no, Pat McGrath, wrong brand, sorry. But I wasn't finding it, and truly and honestly, I don't know if that's even of importance to you. I will show you a comparison side by side so that you do see what the difference in sizes looks like, but obviously you already know this is going to be a smaller pan eyeshadow palette because she has to fit more in here. So that being said, let's go ahead and talk real quick about dupes. Now, the 6 on the top and the 6 on the bottom, those are all the same shades, the exact same shades from the Star Wars 6-pan palettes that she released last December. So I knew that going in. It's not like it was a shock to me when I got it. I still made the decision to pick this up because I wanted to, honestly, I wanted to have a part in her very first 18-pan eyeshadow palette. And truly, these two are some, if you've watched my ranking, you know that these two are some of my top favorite eyeshadow palettes by the brand. I have loved these so much. The quality for a 6-pan eyeshadow palette, usually her 6 pans, it's not that they're bad quality, it's just that they don't have those special shades that you would find in the 12-pan. But for not being special shades, they sure are special. We'll go into that. But I want you to know that if you have these two, then you have this, you have 2/3 of what's in here. A lot of people missed out on those. So that was the perfect, reason, I'm sure, for a lot of people to pick this up. As far as the 6 shades in the middle, I'm going to be completely honest. So these 3 and these 3 right here, I tried Googling so much and I could not find where, I'm sure they're repeats, honestly. And I couldn't find them in my collection unless I was totally like sleepy and overlooking them. And so I couldn't find where those are from. They may be some of her singles. If you know, I have no problem saying I don't know. So if you know, just let me know in the comment section below. That helps me be a little more educated and know what I've got here. So the last thing I want to tell you before we go into the swatches is this shade right here, which is Cosmic. It did come broken. It was quite a bit of powder in there. I had to kind of press it back in. But honestly, all I did was email them and I basically asked. I've never had to return anything via Pat McGrath. It usually comes packed very well. I think there was a little bit of space in my box and that caused it to move a lot. They're very kind about, hey, we're submitting a request to ship you another one. In there will be a return label. Just send that back to us. So anyways, that is that. But I didn't want to hold off on filming this for you because this is officially at Sephora as of today. Today is Sunday. I will probably post this video on Monday. So it is officially at Sephora for $78. And that way, if you want to opt for points by purchasing it that route, then you can. So we're going to do swatches a little bit different today. Typically, I go in through the 4 at a time, but it is an 18-pan palette. And in order to get through all of this, I was kind of proactive and I swatched my arms so that you can just see them all together. For my deeper skin tone ladies, I will put the pictures of the swatches on a deeper skin tone up on the screen for you so that you can see them at the same time as per usual, as per the last, quite a few videos. And so we're just going to kind of go through these together. I never learn that I need to do this way. So yeah, anyways, literally this is the entire palette. So obviously keep in mind the first 6 are from one of the Star Wars palettes. I'll point those out to you in a bit. And then those last 6 are as well. The ones in the middle are the ones that are not. And so this is what the eyeshadow palette looks like. Super, super pigmented. I mean, there's a whole variety of shades. There's just a lot for everybody, I think. There's a whole lot of color scheme in here, and quite frankly, it's very, very easy, I think, to look at it and just pair a look. I don't know. Sometimes with 18-pan eyeshadows, you're like looking at it for a good, 5 or 10 minutes trying to figure out what to do. And this, to me, it just kind of, I don't know, it's out there of just pick one, I mean, they're just, I don't know how else to describe it to you. And obviously very, very opaque. Look at this red right here. Very, very pretty. There's a reason those 2 Star Wars palettes were 2 of my favorites, truly and honestly. So that is the swatch, my swatch arm going on right here. For sake of time, honestly, if you've been with my channel for a long time and you know my prior format or my regular format, let me know what you like better. Is this easier for you? Better we cut down on a little bit of time, or do you prefer getting them 4 at a time? in order to maybe focus on them a little bit better. So just let me know in the comment section below. That helps me know what to, how to do it, what format to do for you. Okay, so that being said, let's go ahead and go into the very quick demo. Again, it's very easy to pick what shades to do. There's not a whole lot of decisioning, at least in my opinion. And we're gonna go in with minimal shades, honestly, because it's crazy how quick and easy you can get a look out of this palette with minimal eyeshadows. So let's go ahead and jump into that, and we'll be back for final thoughts and a little bit of a comparison with those Star Wars palettes. Starting off with a blending brush and the shade Venusian Orchid. Oh gosh, I hope I said that right. I'm just blending this into the crease. This one is a beautiful shade. It does take a couple of layers, at least for my desired intensity. Next, going in with the shade Fuchsia Shock and a shader brush, just a flat shader brush. And I'm really going to pack this on the lid. Oh gosh, as usual, guys, if you see me turning to the side, whatever I was watching had me super intrigued. I think it was Even Stevens. It was taking me back to my childhood. Just really packing this on the lid. It's a very pigmented shade, and it's literally going to be my entire wash over my lid. Going in with some Fenty Pro Filter Eye Primer. I'm placing this in the middle of the lid. I'm going to kind of do a halo eye, kind of cheat my way out of that because I literally laid the full base on my lid, and I'm just going to lay this over top in the middle. And this particular shade is in the color Galactic Gold. And bam, easy peasy halo eye. I told y'all this would be so simple. Going back into the shade Fuchsia Shock with that same flat shader brush, and I'm literally going to go back and forth with making this a little bit more seamless, going in with my finger and placing that middle shade Galactic Gold, and then again with the brush and just kind of blending it all together. Going in with that shade, the burgundy brown shade called Major Mahogany. I guess that tells me right there it's a mahogany shade. Going on to the lower lash line just to kind of smoke this out, add a little bit of a deeper dimension there. And then going in, guys, I feel so bad. I never bring my liners with me or my brushes to tell you what it is, but this was a Hocus Pocus ColourPop liner. It's the red one, the purple one for my waterline. Going back in with the Fenty Pro Filter in my inner corner, and I'm going to go in with the shade Cosmic. Now, this was the one that came in Broken. It's a very soft shade, but still just as beautiful. And guys, that is it. Liner and lashes are done, and easy peasy final look. All right, so now that we've gone through the demo, I hope you found that easy to follow. Again, it was super simple. These shades are so pigmented, they kind of just place themselves. So anyways, nothing short of an arm coming out of your palette and putting it on for you, quite frankly. So let's go ahead and first go into this, and then we'll talk about this. So first off, the packaging, obviously it is different from what we've seen from the brand. I love different. The only thing I think I would have done a little bit differently is this sticker. I don't know what the difference would have been for them to just print this type of image on the actual palette itself. I don't know why they ended up going the route of a sticker. It just looks kind of slapped on and quick, and I don't know, but I'm not opposed to it, but again, it leaves room for being crooked and stuff like that. But same thing with the sticker on the back. Aside from that, I think it's a very pretty packaging. Like I said, unique and different to the brand. I very much like how this opens up. I like that it's got this little luxe feature still. That to me was I think that was thought out very well. I like that they kept luxe in there while bringing the price point down, providing a lot more shades. Just all in all, it was a good holiday, I think, layout or whatever. As far as the shades themselves, let's talk about mattes, because for my ladies that really like a good sampling of mattes in their palette, this does not have that. This has 3 matte shades, and even then you are very limited to your color scheme, I guess. You've got a rose, you've got like a brown type of shade, a brown rose, almost kind of wine. It's on camera, it's looking more burgundy, but honestly, it is kind of a brown burgundy. And then you've got this plum shade right over here. That's all. That's all you have for mattes. I'm definitely not opposed, and I wouldn't have minded 3 more metallic shades in there and dump the mattes, but that's just me. I don't purposely look for mattes. If it has it, great. If not, I'll supplement from another palette. Metallics are my thing. So that means that the other 15 are straight up metallic foiled type of shades, some more foiled and metallic than others. So that's what we've got going on for the mattes, but still, I think they perform very well for the brand, and I want to expand on that. So the matte shades by Pat McGrath are not my favorite formula. A ton of people love them, and I find these to perform exactly the same as my high-end palettes, as my other palettes by the brand, like the 12 pan palettes, the expensive ones. I find these to perform the same as those. I've just never been a fan. I find them to be a drier formula. I find that typically they're very repetitive. It's just that her matte formula is not my favorite. I buy her palettes probably like most people for her standout shades. So I just want to caveat that to what I said about these are, you know, they perform in line with the brand. They perform just fine. It's just that it's not my favorite matte type of formula. I prefer a little smoother, a little softer. So that's that. As far as the metallic shades, there's some more stand out than others. So like this one right here, this one right here especially, and this is probably my very favorite even in the Star Wars palettes. Among those two, that one is my very favorite shade. So there's that. And then you've got the ones that are metallic, but they don't have that sparkle. So like those two have a good amount of sparkle built into the formula. This is a very highly metallic shade. So it's metallic, it's got a little bit of sparkle, but it's not the kind of sparkle that just leaps off your eye and is like kapow, you know, to someone looking at it. So definitely there is a good smattering of that. And so, and they perform very, very nice. So let's talk about Star Wars, this one and this one. And I will tell you which set belongs in which palette in case you want to know. But these perform exactly the same as the Star Wars palettes themselves. Sometimes when brands want to duplicate or re-promote or whatever, sometimes you get a little bit of a different type of formula, a little bit of a cheapening. Maybe they cut corners, this and that. And that was absolutely not the case with this palette. So that being said, if you missed out on those palettes and you were wondering, you know, should I get this because I wonder if it's exactly the same, it's exactly the same. You would be getting what you would have gotten in the Star Wars palettes, only a smaller size, which whoever goes through a full size of eyeshadow, I don't know, definitely not me, but you would get that same formula, the exact same shades. Like literally there is not even, sometimes when you re-promote, you get a hint of a different type of shade, like, oh, it's a little deeper, it's a little lighter. I did not find that to be the case with mine. I think this was pretty on point, pretty exact to the ones they released in those Star Wars palettes. So that may already seal the deal for a lot of y'all. And then as far as these 6 right here, again, I am so sorry that I can't figure out where those are from, but they perform beautifully as well. I, of course, if you know me, if you've been on my channel for a long time, you know I am a sucker for olive shades. So I immediately was like, ooh, I want to try that one. It is absolutely lovely. So I even thought, you know what, I wonder if this is the one from her very last, what was it, Midnight Sun? So I pulled out my palette and it's not. The one in Midnight Sun is a lot deeper of an olive, almost kind of like a blackened olive, and this one is not that deep. So so there is that. Obviously, we put this one on. You saw how pretty it looks. This is what I'm saying about this palette. You could go in with one shade across the lid and literally be done. Or you could do what I did, put one as a wash all across the lid and then put an accent in the middle like a halo eye. The possibilities with this palette are truly endless, but they're so easy. And that's where I think she stands apart from a ton of other brands, probably most, if not all other brands, in the sense that her standout shades and even these shades that are just a notch above like a metallic or a foiled, it makes it so easy because it looks so pigmented, so bright. It looks like such a pack of color. It packs a punch. And I, in the best way possible, and I'm trying to find a way to explain it to you, and I really don't think there is, but it makes it look like you did something complex when you really didn't. This palette is very well curated, granted. Me personally, I would have loved not having dupes of my Star Wars shades in here, but it is what it is. I was so excited for this palette, and when I read that in comments days before it released, it almost bummed me out a little bit, or it did bum me out a little bit. I was like, man. But then I thought, you know what, for the price point, I would love to have them all housed in one. I would love to have the first 18 pan palette by the brand, and I want whatever's in the middle that I probably don't already have. So that being said, you guys know I love this palette, regardless of the dupes. For me, I know a ton of people didn't get their hands on the Star Wars palettes, and so this presents an opportunity for quite a few folks. So let's just go ahead and go real quick into these palettes. So here is the R2-D2. This one was the, where is the names of these? Oh gosh, I am so sorry. I don't remember if these have names. Oh yeah. The Galactic Gold and Dark Galaxy. So you can already tell by the packaging which one belongs to which. So the reds are going to, so red packaging, the reds in this palette are going to be to that palette. So right here, this belongs to the Stormtrooper palette. And then the gold theming belongs to the C-3PO palette. So let's just go ahead and open this bad boy up real quick. Now, mine, from the time I got it from the website, my pans are loose and I never glued them in. So I'm actually gonna pop it out real quick so that I don't accidentally drop it. But see, mine just comes right out. But you see the golds, you see the purples, and they are exactly the same. I'm gonna compare, I'm gonna put them side by side so that you see what the difference is in size. Obviously, there's a big difference. But guys, I would have never gone through this, and I will certainly never go through this. Heck, if I didn't have these and this was like my first look, my first use of the Star Wars shades, I still wouldn't go through these pans of product anyways. But that's just me. You may be different. And so that's what that looks like. It's identical. It's identical. And so I will, for purposes of giving you peace of mind, I'm going to give you a quick swatcheroo here just so that you have an idea of they're exactly the same, you guys. So I don't know that I have room on my hand, but anyways, exactly the same. So you can have peace of mind that you are getting what you hoped to get last year in this palette. So let me just real quick give you the side by side also of the Stormtrooper one, just so that you have an idea. So here is what this bad boy looks like, and knowing my clumsy self, I would end up dropping all of this. So we're gonna do this. Oh gosh. You guys, I can't. There's a reason I don't do stuff like this. Okay. So obviously, can you see that? There we go. So identical also. And you can also see the comparison of the sizes there. But yeah, that's that, you guys. Let me give you I'm gonna give you a quick swatcheroo of one of the ones in here as well, so that you have an idea of the similarity. And again, they are identical. I will swatch them side by side for you. And literally it looks like one big swatch. That's how identical they are. So definitely props to Pat McGrath for keeping the formula and shades exactly the same. And that way everybody feels like they got their hands on the Star Wars shades, even though, you know, it may not be the packaging, but you definitely have it in a one-stop shop right here. For the price point, you guys, absolutely pick up this palette. If you are on the fence, I say grab it and just enjoy the holidays using it, because this truly is a perfect holiday palette. The quality is sensational and it's so easy. Even if you are a beginner, to me, just glide one of those things on the lid and you are good to go. So my friends, before I let you go, I just want to give you a very quick verse of the day in an effort to motivate you, encourage you, and let you know that Jesus loves you so very much. It comes from Romans 8:28, and it says, we know We know that in all things, God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. I love that verse so much because no matter what happens in life, I know God always has a plan. There's just such a peace about knowing that, and it's not to push anything down your throat. You guys know, I tell you time and time again, click off if you don't want to listen. I completely understand, but I just want to encourage you. Everything that happens in my life, I know is for a purpose. The bad, it turns into something, and then I look back and I'm like, that's what that was for. That's why I went through that. Anyways, guys, I love you so very much. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. I will see you in the next video. So until then, stay safe, stay well, and we will talk more holiday very soon. Love you guys. Take care. Bye.